All right, so welcome back, everybody. Hey, it's Dr. J, and we're going to talk about separation techniques here. So there's three techniques I'm going to cover here, three simple ones. So let's talk about this very first one, decanting, right? So decanting is basically where you're pouring, right, from one container into something else, okay? So basically that's really it as far as a process. And during this process, right, you're not really disturbing anything in this container. So a good example of this that I like to think about is like when you're cooking potatoes, right? You have your potatoes in the pot, you got your boiling water, right? Because they got to be soft. Okay, so they're boiling up, they're cooking the potatoes, and then when you're ready to actually, have the potatoes by themselves, what are you going to do? You're going to get that pot of potatoes and pour that water out, right? That way, right, you're decanting, you're right, decanting that water away. Okay, so this is a very simple way to think about decanting. If any of you guys drink wine, right, if you ever hear that term decanting, that's also another way to think of the whole decanting process. Okay, so basically you're just pouring something out and not disturbing the material in whatever container it's in. The other one, okay, let's talk about distillation. Okay, so distillation, a little bit more trickery, but it's still the same because we're still separating things. So let's talk about distillation. So we got a lot going on with this apparatus here, this long apparatus. Now let's talk about what's happening here. So let's say, right, I got a mixture of liquids. Okay, I got some liquids in this mixture. And in this mixture of liquids, as we can see here, we're going to start this off, all right, with the distillation process. This is the entire thing here. You start boiling that mixture of liquids. And what we're going to see here is that during this time, right, some liquids have different boiling points, right? So you're going to have some liquids that are going to have low boiling points. Then you have some liquids that are going to have those higher boiling points. What's going to happen, right, is as we start to heat this mixture of liquids, those ones with the lower boiling points, right, depending on what your mixture, solvent, solution, etc. is, right, those are going to start to be heating up. Okay, so they're heating up, and notice what we see here, they're going from liquid to a vapor or gas, right? Going to see these gas molecules here. So the most volatile components boil first. Volatile, I'm just talking about the lowest boiling point, okay? So basically, right, liquid goes to gas. Now we see this gas here. Notice the stopper. It's not going to go out. It's going to go through this condenser tube here. So in this condenser tube, it is, as it sounds, it's condensing that vapor, that gas, to a liquid condenser, right? Condensing. And we can see here, right, people use water, right, to condense it to cool it down. Some people might have some other type of coolant. Okay, but basically we want to convert this vapor that we got from this mixture here after we heated it up to a liquid. Now, as this process is going on, right, that vapor is being cooled down to what we have here, which is going to be our pure liquid. Okay, so now, right, we separated these two liquids from each other by heating them up and condensing them down. And this process is what we call distillation. Distillation here. Now, the last separation technique I want to talk about is filtration. Filtration is very simple. So basically, right, let's just look here. Let's look here. Let's look. Okay, so with filtration, let me see. We got a couple of different things going on here. We got our beaker. We have a funnel. Okay, and then of course, we have our stirring rod. And then lastly, we have our Erlenmeyer. Okay, so for this process with filtration, you're going to have a mixture. Okay, so usually with filtration, if you're trying to filter anything, you're probably going to have a solid and liquid. So notice right how that's different from distillation. Usually you're dealing with liquids here, but with filtration, you're usually trying to separate a solid and a liquid. Okay, so we have our solid and liquid in this Erlenmeyer here, and we're going to pour that through the funnel. So the funnel's job is to make sure that it's going to keep all that solid in that funnel here. So as it goes through the funnel, goes down there, right? There's filter paper in this funnel as well, and it's trapping all that solid. So the solid's not going to go through the funnel here. The only thing that comes out through the actual funnel is a liquid that was in this Erlenmeyer flask here. So now I have my liquid component here and my solid trapped here. Okay, so depending on what you want, right, you can use filtration. All right, so these are 3 simple separation techniques we have: decanting, distillation, filtration.